Yo, what's up, y'all? You are now tuned into another episode of the Podcast with Tigmatic. Listen, we here. We moving and booming.
Everybody go tapping with the pop.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
With the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G, red beam on it. You think I'm recording, kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in the lightning. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake. Clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name. Power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty. Remain the same. Say what you mean. Speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game. Kicking the door with me. All through the pain. The snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
Today's episode is sponsored by my sponsor, Rat Patch. And if you know what you know, get the brown, get the white, and fix your cigars the way you need. Rat Patch, the official sponsor of the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic. We moving and booming, baby. Let's go.
Introducing the all-new, all-natural Wrap Patch. The smoking bandage for broken, stale, cracked, torn cigars, cones, cigarettes, wraps, you name it. Here we have a stale cigar with 2 holes in it. We're going to take our brown paper wrap patches and we're going to tear it in half because a little goes a long way. You lick the shiny adhesive side of the wrap and then you apply it to the damaged area, smoothing it over as you go, like you see me doing here, to get all the air bubbles out and to make it a complete airtight seal. We're going to take our other side of our wrap patch and do the exact same thing with the other hole. These are our brown papers. And now we have a completely new fix.
All right, y'all, listen. My guest is here, and she's a producer. She definitely got the music on deck, and she can make whatever you need. She's a dope soul. She's also a radio host and a podcast host. So, without further ado, I give you Achickwitbeatz.
Hey, thank you so
What's
much.
going
on?
Welcome to the pot. Welcome to the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic. I'm sorry, I'm a little tongue twisted.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. How you doing today?
I'm good. Cause, like I said, I'm excited to be here. So yeah, I'm great.
That's what's up. So why don't you give yourself a formal introduction to the folks, like only you can?
Well, as you said, I'm Achickwitbeatz. I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan, so halfway between Chicago and Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been producing. I started officially in 2008, so like it's been some years. I've always been kind of drawn to music in some form or fashion. I also write music as well. I guess I started doing poetry and stuff when I was pretty young. But something that I've always enjoyed. And then later I started doing it because, I was making beats and trying to get myself out there. So it led to doing a little performing here and there. And I think that's pretty much it as far as what I actually do. Like you said, I got the podcast going, the Instrumental Intel. And it's basically just to kind of keep artists in the know of what's going on. To be aware of different things, share stories so we can all kind of learn from each other.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So you said you're from Kalamazoo, right?
Yes.
Why don't you tell the people a bit about hometown and what it's like?
Well, it is a college town, also a lot of families. So it's kind of like a little itty bitty big city, if you will, but a lot of creatives of all kinds. I mean, it's just a melting pot, especially considering our location. We get the good stuff from everywhere. So yeah, a small place with a whole lot of talent nestled in it.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool. So how was your hometown influencing you in your journey in music?
I would say it's probably because there's so many people from different places that kind of landed here. We get more of that saturation of everything. So not just our surrounding areas, but, people who are transplants. So yeah, I mean, it's an eclectic mix, got a lot of different styles, but, it's all love.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool. So what was the music scene like in your city when you were coming up? And did it play a role in your sound?
Yes, actually, my older cousins, we used to hang out quite a bit, and they had like a lot of, how do I want to say, like basically I was always surrounded by music. They had friends who DJ, and so I got to hear like some of the underground stuff and things like that.
Right.
2 of my cousins actually rap. One of them, I was over, like his sister and I were kind of close in age, so I was over their house all the time. That's like one of my early memories is just, hearing him rapping, coming up and down the stairs, just freestyling or, trying out some lyrics that he had just written.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So you had some inspiration around you.
Yeah. And my father also played bass back in the day too. So my brother
that's what's up.
makes beats. He's also a producer, graphic designer, all the good stuff.
So break it down a bit. Give me what that was like in the house for you. What was the feeling like as you watched Dad play and family do their thing, and how did it transition for you?
Yeah, well, my brother, actually, by the time he was producing stuff, he was in Memphis. So, yeah, I didn't get to see that in-house. But, yeah, sometimes he would call over the phone and let me hear something he had just done. As far as, like, growing up, my parents always had music going. Apparently, I used to mess with the record player so much that they had to show me how to operate it just so that way I wouldn't mess anything up. So, yeah, I just remember a lot of music. I was of a very impressionable age. The first time I saw Last Dragon, I'm like, that was one of the childhood memories. I used to watch that like every day for a while, after school. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I grew up in a great era with a lot of access to great music.
So, okay, so here's my next question: were there like any artists or producers that influenced you early on? Like, if they were, who were they?
Of course, I'd have to say Jay Dilla.
Okay.
Pete Rock is inspirational.
That's the OG.
Yeah, one that I keep coming back to his stuff over and over again is Premier. I mean, I enjoyed it at the time, but somehow it's like you even catch more nuances and stuff later. Like,
right.
Let's see. I would even say for a while there, Neptunes and Pharrell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Neptunes, Premier, Jay Dilla, and who was the last one?
Did you get Premier again?
Yeah, I got Premier.
Wait, so I must be missing one then. Let's see. Shoot.
Yeah, you said 4. I thought you was gonna go for 5. Do you have a 5th?
Q-Tip.
Q-Tip?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Definitely.
He got that neo soul vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something that I always admired. I've been a Tribe fan for a long time. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you like the trap beats as well? Do you dabble into that?
I've tried a couple of times, and I mean, I get pretty close, but they still sound a little bit jazzy, like a little extra. I don't know. So maybe Truist probably would say it's not really trap, but yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, it might sound a little bit different, but yeah.
Okay. So mental health is a major conversation in the industry. How do you personally maintain balance as a creative?
Oh my goodness. A lot of it for me is knowing when to kind of, you can't really shut it off, but kind of knowing when to compartmentalize it. So, instead of having your mind always working, like to make sure that you actually take time for yourself, to do something else creative that you might enjoy, but just something a little bit different, because it's hard. It's really easy to kind of get caught up in that and just never turn it off and kind of get burned out for a while. I mean, you think about it, anytime you see someone post, "Oh, I'm quitting music, I'm not doing this no more." Typically,
have you ever been there?
Oh no. No, I can't even play like that. Like, I don't care how frustrated I get. I need to make music for me, even if I don't share it with anyone else.
I hear that. So it sounds like for you, even if you are stressed, music is a stress reliever.
It is. It really is.
Dope. It's the same here. I produce and make beats as well, so I can relate.
Yeah, you get the feeling.
Yeah, and sometimes, look, it gets a little tricky because you might not get the sound that you're looking for immediately. even if you make something in 5 minutes, right? Because some people still are in awe when they see a person do that. Like, I just made this in less than 5 minutes. Like, but that comes with constantly working.
It does.
So even when you're stressed out, sometimes the creativity can lack. So I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do when you experience burnout? Do you just still stick with it, or do you do something else?
I do, but I make sure that I take breaks. So
Okay.
yeah, I probably won't walk completely away from it, but instead of tweaking, that track, that sound, all day, maybe do it for 20 minutes at a time, come back to it. And as you know, like, especially with engineering, ear fatigue is real as well.
Yeah.
So, technically you should be doing it anyway. But yeah,
sometimes it'll take 8 hours.
Right. So yeah, that's something that I've kind of learned to do. So even if it's just for, moments at a time to step away, yeah, just to make sure that there's some kind of balance there.
So let's talk about some people you've worked with. Tell the people a bit about some people that you've collabed with along your journey.
Yeah, well, one of the big placements that I got was with Desert Ease for the song Riot Gear. So I produced the track, they got it, and then, 5 Star was like, oh, I got a surprise for you. I'm like, okay, what is it? It's like, oh, Dead Prez is featuring on your track. And I'm like,
oh,
what?
Yeah, that's dope.
So yeah, I was just...
Yeah, that's legendary right there.
Yeah, and then, so this was 2015, I believe. So it wasn't until like maybe 2021, somewhere around there, I found out that originally it was supposed to be to a beat they got from Inspector Deck, but they ended up switching at the last minute to mine. So I'm like, oh, okay. This was like 6 years ago, and I had no idea this happened. But yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, that's dope. That's definitely dope. So, have there been any struggles you faced with mental health while pursuing your career, and how did you overcome them?
Ooh.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'd say probably dealing with imposter syndrome.
Break that down a bit. Even though I've heard this a second time, but for you, it might mean something different.
Yeah.
Break imposter syndrome down for the people, for those that never heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically when you feel like you're an imposter, like people think that you're up here on this level, but you think that you're so much lower than that. And, with that feeling, it's not really real. You kind of have to examine it and to be able to accept, any good vibes or praise that you're getting instead of, turning around like, well, I could be better. What if they find out that I don't know this or that? Like that kind of thought process is just going to make things stagnate. Like no matter, how you think that you might be dealing with it, if you're not confident in your abilities, that's going to come out in your work. People can tell.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. So, in those moments that you had imposter syndrome, how did you come out of it? How did you overcome it?
I wanted to just keep practicing so I could get better. So yeah, it was about trying a lot of things, watching tutorials on stuff that I didn't fully understand how to work. Like, yeah, just kind of making sure that I had a better understanding of it. So even though I never actually intended to do any engineering, I ended up learning how to do that just from researching things so I could have a knowledge of how things were supposed to work. So, yeah, that was the biggest thing for me is I just kept learning anything that I felt that, I didn't know the way that I should or that people would expect me to. Then I just went ahead and did the research.
Right.
Another thing that helped with that too is they say you understand how well you know something if you can explain it to others. So that's another reason why I was doing like the free game Friday on my blog and all that stuff, just to let people know stuff. So if I have a good understanding of it, then I should be able to make it simple for you.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. And knowledge is power. And when you have knowledge, the best thing to do is share it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more. That's awesome. Okay. So here's my next question for you. Do you believe music production can be therapeutic? If so, how has it helped you or others you've worked with?
Well, I'd say yes. It's definitely therapeutic. Sometimes I haven't even understood my current mood, until I actually made something. And it's almost like I could kind of hear what I may have been, feeling. And so, for one, it's helped me to examine my feelings. So sometimes I also know, okay, well, just go ahead and put it out there. Another way that I feel that it's helped others is the fact that an artist can be inspired enough by my beats to buy them and create with them. So that's always a good feeling to me to just know, okay, this made them sit down and write these bars. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like anytime you can express yourself and encourage others to express themselves, that's definitely a win. There's something that feels good about that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. So let's talk about your show. Tell the people the name of your show and the synopsis. Break it down for them, what it's about.
All right. It is.
And give them the rundown.
Okay. It's instrumental intel, kind of like a play off words. I make instrumentals. I have instrumentals on the podcast. I give you intel, so intelligence that you need to kind of help you with your career. I try to have guests on, but not just anybody. They have to, either be really good at what they do or, just have like some experience, some knowledge in the game that people can learn from. So some people think that I'm being kind of choosy, and that's not really the attempt. But, I kind of did that with my other podcast already. So now it's about information and kind of, elevating where we're at in the game.
Oh, I understand that a whole lot. Especially when I first started, I was just getting people that I knew.
Yeah.
But as you can see, if you've looked at the social media and everything from the beginning all the way up to now, it's inclined a whole lot. It went up. As far as clientele wise, how do you go about picking a guest for your show?
Well, typically it comes from starting with people that I know that, just fit the criteria. Sometimes, depending on what they did, they may not have fit in the previous show that I was doing. Right. But, if I can find a way to kind of work it in now, then, I definitely do that. Sometimes people reach out to me. And, again, according to what I've observed or what I know about where they're at and what they're trying to accomplish, it's a matter of, have they had personal experiences that people can glean from or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, it kind of, sometimes I seek them out. Sometimes they find me. PR agents funnel a lot too. So it's kind of helpful when you have somebody that's in the industry in that status and they can kind of weed through some of that for you and let you know who's a good fit.
Oh, that's cool. So you have a team that you work with?
No, typically they're just all from different places and they'll just reach out to me because they found the show.
Oh, that's cool. So what inspired you to do this? What was your moment where you was like, hey, look, I need to do this? What inspired you?
Well, specifically for instrumental intel, my previous radio show, Music Marvels, was ending. But maybe about 4 or 5 months before that, I was thinking, man, I would kind of like to do this in a different format. It was great having, different people on, but, to just kind of have a specific focus in mind. So, I still try to let people promote whatever they've got going on too, because that's important. But yeah, instead of just having, people who I thought maybe they were cool one time I saw them perform, just kind of dig a little bit deeper so that way the content can be meaningful and actually educational.
Right. And I was going to ask, what kind of conversations do you bring to your platform?
Yeah. well, we've talked about mainly how independent artists can promote themselves, sometimes the do's and don'ts. Sometimes I've had my friends in mental health come on the show who might happen to be, either musicians or music fans to talk about mental health, just basically all the pitfalls that any type of creative in the business has been through. I've had those conversations. So, matter of fact, I knew somebody, he's a rapper and a producer, and he's also a personal trainer. So we talked about, exercising to be able to get your bar game up, like just those sort of things.
Yeah. I have a friend that does the same thing. He's a part of Timbaland's Beat Club.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Rashid Sanders. His episode's on Going In Radio, folks, by the way, if y'all want to tune in and listen. And listen, Achickwitbeatz is on Going In Radio as well. And she's on right now.
Yeah, so glad to be here.
So, with the track that I heard, who was doing those vocals? That was you?
Yes.
Oh, so you sing a bit too?
Well, yeah. I'd like to say I hide behind harmonies. So, like, yeah, you wouldn't want to book me for your show, like a wedding or something like that. But plus, I kind of enjoy leaving my vocals a little bit raw.
Yeah.
Because, anything that I do can be covered by somebody that wants to.
Right.
Like, I want to sample this or I want to remix it. I want it to kind of feel like a reference track to just kind of inspire other creatives to think about what they might do with it. Or if I added an open verse. So, yeah, I kind of like the feeling of the raw vocals.
So with your beats, do you do sync licensing?
Yes. I haven't had major placements, but yes, I do that as well.
Okay, so how many placements do you have?
They've basically been with local podcasts, and I think that was a web series show.
Okay.
And radio.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You pushing yourself out there, though. That's the main element.
Yeah.
So you were doing radio. How long did you do that?
Well, first go round, I had a show that basically focused on local artists from Kalamazoo. So I did that for about a year. And then, kind of had a hiatus. And then I got another show at another station out of Atlanta. And that one ran for about a year and a half before, again, hiatus. And then, yeah, the big break until 2020 when I started the podcast that was running on Grander Radio before Instrumental and Tell. So.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool.
Yeah.
So, how has hosting a podcast changed your perspective on music, business, and mental health?
I would say, I guess I thought that a lot of artists probably went through some of the same things, but in interviewing people and having various guests, I've seen that, most of our struggles are all pretty common, and we may not be as alone as we might think. If you're not talking to all these different artists all the time, then you may not really know that. But yeah, just kind of normalized some stuff and made me realize, this is important. Like, we need to take care of these things. We need to be able to talk about these things and, feel no shame about, whatever struggles that you might be going through.
Right. So you care to share any of yours?
Struggles?
This is the show where we talk about the struggles, how we overcame them.
Yeah.
To serve as inspiration for the youth, but not just the youth.
Yeah.
Others in our age range. I don't want to put us out there. We old. We ain't that old.
Yes. Yeah, I would say I felt like being a woman in the industry was probably the hardest part, and kind of knowing when to shrug off some stuff. And, sometimes you wonder if, hey, did I do something to get that unwarranted attention, or, like, what's going on? And so, like, there's a lot of, just trying to be tough because they're expecting you to kind of whine because you're a girl. But Yeah, I think that that's probably the hardest part, is just having to shake some stuff off just because you don't want to be seen as sensitive, trying to make it in this industry.
Right. Would you say you've come across people that were sexist?
Oh, absolutely.
What was that experience like, and how did you overcome that?
I guess it's kind of just recognizing that it may not have been personal. A lot of times sex is just, sometimes they seem like they don't even know, like it's just the way that their mind works. Sometimes it's outright and blatant, and sometimes it's just as subtle as saying you're my favorite female, da 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 da. And it's like, well, why do you have to separate it?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's just in your face. But yeah, getting called sweetheart and people, oh, send me something sexy, like, just outright rude. So yeah, it's just, sometimes you might get labeled as sensitive or mean depending on how you respond. But at first that's kind of hard to think that people might perceive you as being something that you're not. But yeah,
Right.
it's yeah, I was able to get through it, like I said, by recognizing it wasn't personal. It's the way their mind works, and I have every right to be in this space.
Yeah, I can understand that for you, being a female in a male-dominated industry.
Mm-hmm.
But now things are switching and changing. We got a lot of female producers out here that's moving and booming.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for still doing your thing.
Thank you.
And I appreciate what you're doing and what you bring to the table.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, how has hosting a podcast changed your perspective on music from the guests and topics that deeply impacted you personally?
Oh, I'm sorry. One more time.
How has hosting a podcast... you're going in and out.
Okay. Yeah, you froze on my end too.
I said, how has hosting a podcast changed your perspective on guests or topics that deeply impacted you mentally?
Wow. This was maybe the year after the pandemic. I had a guest on. She was pursuing her PhD. She also was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And she was working in psychology, and she said that with everything that had gone on, that we haven't even fully understood, everything to be able to process what we went through. And
Right.
so, once she said that, I kind of started viewing people a little bit differently, like maybe somebody got a little too close in the grocery store or whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, we're all kind of dealing with something. We don't fully recognize it. It may affect the way that we treat others. But yeah, just the way she said it so emphatically, it just kind of stuck with me. And yeah, it's kind of helped me to be more sympathetic.
Oh, that's cool. So, who's Achickwitbeatz listening to in her car or in the crib when she listening to music? Give me your top 5.
My top 5.
Yeah. Let me give you the Dolo cam real quick.
If I were probably to look down at what my last few songs on Amazon Music were, it would be MF Doom, A Tribe Called Quest, Outkast,
Okay.
and Black Moon. It's been a lot of Black Moon lately.
Okay. You got a lot of legendary people in your playlist.
Oh yeah.
So, give me your top 5 current.
Oh man, that might be a little more difficult. Shoot. Well, I could say Redman.
Okay. Muddy Waters 2 is definitely popping.
Yeah.
Shout out to Redman.
But man, I'm trying to think of who I listen to that's new. A lot of the more mainstream stuff that I've heard. was kind of old, and like I just got to it late. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like some more new artists that I've been listening to, and I can't really think of many.
Okay. You listen to Kendrick?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like Kendrick. What about Drake?
No. I was never a Drake fan. That was way before, yeah.
Okay, so are you aware of the battle situation?
Very much so.
Who did you pick in this situation?
I picked Kendrick.
Okay.
I'm one of those people. I was never a Drake fan to begin with.
Okay.
I used to get called a hater, and now all of a sudden it's cool. I'm like, I think I need an apology. That's the same stuff that I was saying before. I think, if he would have just remained pop artist, it's just the fact that trying to cross over into a culture
that he really doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no problem. Like, if he identified as pop, no beef at all. But that was my issue. And when he made that song Wu-Tang Forever, oh gosh, where he was like singing and made it like it was a slow beat, like how you gonna call that song Wu-Tang Forever? So I was annoyed, but that was the one that did it for me.
So that was the one that really caught you like, oh nah, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, right? When it comes to him, I like a few songs. Everything isn't my cup of tea. Like I like the Joint Forever he did with Ye.
Okay.
Yeah, like Forever with Ye. I like Back to Back.
Okay.
But it still wasn't the better track than me when he went against me. It wasn't the better track than me.
No.
But I will say it's popular music, so that's what people get, and I get called a hater too. So you're not alone. Me personally, I want to hear someone that really started from the bottom if they say they started from the bottom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't relate to that,
Yeah, don't be
I
lying.
like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acting tough.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, just stay in your lane.
Yeah, okay. So here's my next question.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little
Oh no, you good.
Getting alerts going. Okay. Okay, let's talk about how did you learn production? Are you self-taught, mentorship, or formal training?
Self-taught.
Okay.
Basically started on GarageBand. My husband got a MacBook, and I was just kind of curious. Like, I know he had a friend that used it to make beats, so I was like, oh, let me see what it does, and tapped on it, just started messing around.
So what program you use?
Well, now I use Machine, Native Instruments, but yeah.
Okay.
I had started with that and then just kind of worked my way up.
Do you like FL?
I don't like to use it because I'm so used to using Native Instruments.
Okay.
It's not that there's anything wrong with the program, but for me, it feels the complete opposite. So, yeah, I'm not personally a fan, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Well, I'm going to sound old school to the folks. I'm a guy that started on a DR770.
Okay.
My friend Dublin the Boss was making beats. He got me into making beats on the DR770. And it was the tiny little buttons, and you got to be hitting the buttons on point.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, things transition to using the keyboard to make the beats.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, the same thing with FL. So I use FL Studio now. I like FL Studio, but I also like Pro Tools as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pro Tools, I rock with Pro Tools a bit, but FL is my thing. That's really where I flourish on the production side.
Yeah, because I know some producers get weird about, whatever you use and yeah, but like I've never actually understood that because it depends on what you do with it. And
Right.
then, yeah, why make it harder for you? Like with what was it, Pinata or whatever that Madlib had produced entirely on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Like it sounded good. Like you were enjoying it. Why would that change the fact that you were enjoying it?
Yeah, whatever comes naturally to you.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah, like
it's
my
the
friend
ear, not the
Foolish.
ear.
My friend Foolish, he made beats for Boosie, Big Yago, and a lot of other people, right? And me. He made a beat for me. Frauding on Going Down Radio. It's out there.
Okay.
So I've watched this guy literally hear my lyrics and make the beat according to the lyrics.
Wow.
Are you one of those type of producers that can do that?
I have before.
Okay.
Sometimes I've actually just taken the acapellas, like, hey, you got something? And then, it's a rough to where I might actually place them where they should be in the beat. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, if
that's
it's a
cool.
vibe that's understandable,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
dope.
I'm all over it.
Yeah, she all over it. Y'all hear her? That's what's up. So, what would you say is the toughest challenge when it comes to making beats?
Again, I'd probably say like knowing when to rein it in. Because if
So
I
time-
get into it, yep, to make sure, like I said, that I'm not going to burn myself out. But yeah, sometimes it's hard, especially if you get caught up in a vibe, look up, it's 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part.
So how do you approach production? Do you have a creative process, a ritual that helps you stay in the zone?
I do on occasion. Actually, I have a few different ones that I like to do. Sometimes it's kind of creating a mood environment, like maybe have it dark, candles, incense, that sort of thing. Other times it might be just listening to old school music or even having like Yo MTV raps on. And yeah, it's typically either environment or something I'll watch that might motivate me to, or, kind of inspire me.
Oh, that's dope. That's definitely dope. Okay. So, when you make beats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does the things that are going on in your life impact what you create?
Yes.
Break that down a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of times the emotion or mood kind of seeps in. Like I said, sometimes, I might not even be aware of it until, I'm hearing it back the loop or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, this sounds kind of angry or, depending on, matter of fact, after the inauguration, like my beats kind of had a tone for a while. You kind of tell, like, I was taking it out on the track a little bit.
You taking it out on the track?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it definitely affects things. A lot of the songs that I have that are happier, where people sound like, man, this really sounds like a love song, because of, emotions that I might have had at the time. So yeah, it all kind of seeps in.
Oh, that's cool. That's definitely cool. I think it's the same for me as well. Like when I'm angry, I'll make some of the craziest beats. But lately, I can be real. I've been kind of like on a cold streak. Like I'll get the drum pattern and be stuck at the melody.
Okay.
Or I'll have the melody and be stuck at the drums.
Yeah, I've had
You
that
know?
happen. Yeah.
So sometimes that happens to me. But, just like you, I might take a break, come back to it, and then put it all together.
Yeah, I've actually had some that I've done that way, like went back to my hard drive just to go through, like, let me see if there's anything I could do with, what I got chilling in this unfinished folder. And then it's something that I actually remember getting stuck on, but like the rest of it comes to me instantly. So like you never know when it's going to actually click. But yeah, I've had that happen a few times to where, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, how didn't I hear this is what it needed the first time? Like, why did I abandon that? But,
right. Yeah, that's dope, and as a person that makes beats as well, I relate to that. That's why I spoke on it.
Yeah.
And for you, what are some pros and cons to running a podcast and doing production?
Time, trying to juggle it, because there's a lot of times that maybe I need to take an interview or I need to do an edit or record something where I might have been in the middle of producing something, but because of the time constraint, I had to stop. So yeah, for me, that's been the hardest part. Pros, always having music to be able to put on my podcast.
That's a fact.
That's definitely, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So, who's your dream collaboration?
I'm trying to think.
Who's Achickwitbeatz dream collab?
Well, that I could still do. I think it would be really, really dope to do some work with maybe Q-Tip.
Okay.
Or DJ Premier.
Isn't Q-Tip out in Chicago?
If he is, I wasn't aware.
Or he might be in LA. I'm not sure. Don't give me the line.
I was like, I'll have to research. Yeah, I think that would be so dope.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Like I say, or even just some cuts from Premiere. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So who's your favorite artist to work with?
I would definitely, and yeah, I hope this isn't bad to say, but yeah, definitely Desert Ease and their team. The whole collective that they have going. They've been some of my favorite clients. Consistent, and just very supportive, since the beginning. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely cool.
The Midwest Marauders. Yeah.
That's cool. So let's talk about my guy that we both have in common.
Yes.
Let's talk about my guy, Fabian. Shout out to Fabe.
Yes. Thank
my
you for
business partner, my guy, and manager.
Yes.
How did you meet?
We met online, Facebook, a long time ago. He had, I think, done some work with Megan McNeil, another favorite client. And we had kind of connected, even though we hadn't actually worked together, still just kind of kept in touch. Been on my radio show and that sort of thing. But yeah, I just keep saying that, I got to salute him for how he grinds. And yeah, I'm just like, man, that's incredible. I'm congratulating you like every month or so on something. So yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah,
we be moving and booming.
His story and journey is just really inspirational. So yeah, that's why I've interviewed him so many times. Like, more people need to hear this.
Yeah. And Fabe, you're gonna hear this. I hope you watch him later today. I know he's probably busy right now as we speak, but he's definitely inspirational to me as well. And he's someone that I talk to when, I need to hear that. Keep going, King. Listen, when people saying it's little, listen, what you doing ain't little, King. You need to go back and look at what you've done and this little bit of time, King. And I'm like, yo, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yes, you need
But
some
yeah,
like
he's
that on your
definitely
Twitter.
enforcing positivity out here, and he's great at what he does. And he got them vocals as well.
Yeah,
One hell of a singer.
definitely.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's cool. So y'all haven't worked together with any music yet?
No, we actually
What y'all waiting on?
Yeah. He said he was gonna get at me soon, so yeah, I'm gonna hold him to that. But
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stay on top of it now. Like, look, y'all gotta get some music done.
For sure.
Yeah. So I've listened to some of your instrumentals, and you definitely had the boom bap sound, the originality, essence of hip hop.
Thank you.
And I can tell that you studied that.
Yeah.
So
no one's ever said that. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, I definitely can tell that you studied that. And I said that to Fabe as well. You know, I said it to him like, hey, listen, I can hear it. She make boom bap beats. And he was like, listen, she's good at what she does. So, yeah, you know, your instrumentals is definitely something I can just chill and slow dance and bop with wifey, or just sit there and have a vibe with my wife. You know, that's something I look for in instrumentals. I like all types of instrumentals: trap, neo soul, R&B, even rock. A little bit of country, a little bit,
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But
yeah, I appreciate that.
yeah, I definitely can hear that you study the greats and you really work on your craft and you take time with your production, and that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
You're
either
welcome.
that or typically house music. So yeah, I'm either chill or the complete opposite direction. There's rarely an in between.
Yeah, Kingdom of Sign says fire.
Thank you.
Thank you, love. You know what it is. That's what's up. So let's talk future plans. What's next for you? And are there any upcoming projects or collaborations we should be excited about?
Yes, I am working on my album Dopamine and Serotonin. I've released 3 singles from it, and I've got some more that I kind of need to do some tweaking to. But yeah, there's definitely going to be more of that. And I will be releasing an instrumental album probably sometime right before that's ready. Just
so Dopamine and Serotonin.
Yes.
Okay. What's the essence behind the name? What made you come up with that name?
Well, it's about how they react in your brain, like the different things that kind of elicit those feelings, kind of kick those chemicals off. So it's basically kind of talking about some of the things that we as artists gravitate towards. So the title track I did release to where I kind of talk about that. First part is music, second part is love. Of course, I kind of, flipped the euphemisms a little bit just to kind of keep you guessing the whole time. But yeah, we tend to kind of go for whatever we enjoy. And so, yeah, it's kind of paying homage to that. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
And listen, folks, the track is on Going In Radio.
Thank you so much.
So listen, go on Zeno FM. Y'all see it saying it. Tune in to Going In Radio on Zeno FM. Check it out. You got her music on there. You got a whole lot of other music on there. Different sounds. Philly sound, Chicago sound, West Coast sound. We got a little bit of something for everybody. And, we don't have a huge catalog yet, which means we need y'all to do y'all part. Y'all want to be heard? Submit your music. If it's good, if it's dope, we'll put it on the station. Free 99. Y'all hear that? For free 99, you can get your music on for a limited time only. I sound like a commercial. I'm sorry. But listen, for a limited time only, your music is submitted for free. So get with us. All right, so here's my next question. If you could give one piece of advice to young women getting into music production, what would it be?
To not accept any of the disrespect that might be coming their way. It's going to happen, and hopefully things will get better as time goes on. But yeah, it's still kind of a given. They keep doing the the surveys every year about how women in the industry feel. Maybe things change by like 0.5%, but typically not by much if they change at all. So yeah, that's
Right.
the biggest thing, is to know that some people are going to try it, and you just got to let them know that you're not going to accept the disrespect. So yeah, stand your ground. You deserve to be there just like everybody else.
That's right. Oh, that's dope. So, last and final question.
Okay.
If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
Time is precious. It goes by so fast. And so, yeah, I'm just trying not to waste it, not to waste, the inspiration that I have, talent that I've been given. So, yeah, time is precious, and I want to make sure that I do something special with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Listen, let me get back on this camera. I'm happy that you were here. This was a dope interview. I like your spirit. I like your energy. It's very high vibrational. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You can't be a stranger. You got to come back on either to the pot, or you come on Stirring the Pot, and we could play some of your tunes on Stirring the Pot.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll play some tunes on Stirring the Pot.
Yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been great. I'm always nervous before I get on camera, but you made me feel very comfortable. So thank you.
I'm glad. You're very welcome. I take pride in making people comfortable, and being on camera is definitely a hard thing within itself. Listen, I do a lot of squinting and trying to be in the right angle a lot myself, and it's not an easy feat. So I understand it.
Thank you.
But I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. And anything else you want to shout out to the people before we go?
Just thank you for those that support. I appreciate everybody watching. And I just appreciate the support, the love. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Listen to Instrumental and Tell every Saturday at 7.
Hey, and where?
Grander Radio, Achickwitbeatz.com, and on your favorite podcast platform.
Hey, listen, we got to get you on Going In Radio too.
Okay.
We got to get you on Going In Radio. We need some slots for podcasts. We need more than the pot on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely down.
So listen, hit your cam, and I'm going to do my solo dolo.
All right.
And we going to mute your mic, and I'm going to talk a little bit. Hey, listen, folks. My guest was here. She did a thing. And listen, she's a beautiful soul. She's dope. And listen, check her out. Check her podcast out, y'all. It's definitely dope. And y'all got to keep tuning in. You never know who we going to have on, y'all. So listen, with that said, I want you guys to enjoy your night. And as always, stay blessed, stay positive, stay focused out here.
Everybody know what's happening with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an
Hill,
episode of me on
and
it.
you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
With the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Introducing the all-new, all-natural wrap patch. The smoking bandage for broken, stale, cracked, torn cigars, cones, cigarettes, wraps, you name it. Here we have a stale cigar with 2 holes in it. We're going to take our brown paper wrap patches and we're going to tear it in half because a little goes a long way. You lick the shiny adhesive side of the wrap and then you apply it to the damaged area, smoothing it over as you go, like you see me doing here, to get all the air bubbles out and to make it a complete airtight seal. We're going to take our other side of our wrap patch and do the exact same thing with the other hole. These are our brown papers. Cigar. No need to throw it out, no wasting money. Now we have the same cigar, completely broken in half, and these are our white colored papers. As you see, the shiny adhesive side is the side that you lick. Hold your piece of your damaged smoking vessels together. Apply the wrap patch, and it doesn't even have to be perfect. These are how well and how good the wrap patches adhere. Smooth it around. You can add heat to speed up the drying process. But like we have here, a completely fixed, airtight seal cigar. Odor